do not like whores. Let me make this very simple. They may sleep with a whore, they may hang out with a whore, but they will not wife a whore, okay? You guys look for the exception of the rule to try to make it the rule, and that's what you guys were looking for in Megan Thee Stallion, and it is just not reality. The fact of the matter is you cannot make prostitution music speak about men like they are nothing, twerk all day and think that any man in this world is going to take you serious, let alone make you a wife. And it's only Black women that have this mentality. They think that because a woman is rich and because she's beautiful, that she's automatically of value. I'm so confused. I don't understand what goes through you guys' brain. Like, you don't understand morals, values, integrity. Those things matter, not just money. I know in your little bubbles, everything is about money, but in everyone else's world, it is not. And until you guys are able to grasp basic concepts and actually listen to men when they tell you what they like and they don't like, you guys will continue to be losers.
All right, so let's talk about this video, man, of this lady talking about, pretty much Black women not listening to Black men about what they want in a woman and thinking they can promote 304 culture and portray that, and men will still accept them. And what she said was some real stuff. There's no women don't put equity in being ladylike anymore. They think and they live through celebrity lenses. When you hear them talk about dudes cheating, it's a celebrity couple on TikTok or a popular couple on TikTok, or it's a celebrity couple. And they see every man, especially Black men, through that lens. Well, Clay cheated on Megan, not knowing that relationship was a business agreement. Most wealthy relationships or celebrity business-like relationships, but they don't understand most of them, most of those are just a business relationship. And even when you get into the traditional marriages where the families come together, that's a business relationship. You're not marrying because of love. You're building to strengthen the bloodline, to strengthen the capital, to strengthen the capital of that family, to build a powerhouse. That's what those traditional weddings where the parents come together and put y'all together. It's not for aesthetics. It's not for love. It's a business arrangement. Now, of course, looks gonna come into play. Somewhat, they not gonna put you with no ugly ass dude or woman, that you way uglier than and had ugly grandbabies. That is a play, but the play is more importantly family values, religion, how y'all see it, business agreements. That's the agreement. That's really the aim. But like she was saying, most women, it's how it look. They like tall guys because how it looks. They like to be with a pookie because how it looks. It looked like I tamed a wild animal and I domesticated a lion. And they think they can have it all. They think they can portray it as 304s. And they think we stupid enough to believe that when they get with us, the 304ism stop. And I did a video on Finesse 2 times talking about that, where, yeah, they get tired of being a 304, but then when they get into being a wife or locked into a long-term relationship, they midlife crisis, a lot of women, is to go back to 304 because it was fun. It's the nostalgia of it. They forget all the bad when they didn't have none of that dudes that they was dealing with can help them if they was in time of need or the emotional support that their husband get them. They get used to it. They started to get entitled to that. They get entitled to that. So, but she's right. They think, they can, be a 304, promote that culture, and see that Megan got cuffed or Cardi got married, or Drake could take a picture and act like he cool with Sexy Red, and that they can do that. But in reality, they can. There are guys that are perfectly fine with promiscuous women and wifing them. Perfectly fine as dudes that marry strippers. You know, it's dudes that marry prostitutes. They live that little fantasy, like that movie. What is it called? Pretty Woman or whatever it is, Richard Gere and all. That's their fantasy. But in reality, you got to understand the man that you want, that y'all all want, that top tier dude, he'll sleep with you. But at the end of the day, he gonna choose the more conservative woman, the more, the more safe woman, the more, a lady in the streets and possibly a freak in the sheets. And they don't listen, like she said, to what men say they want. They don't listen. They do the opposite of what we say we want. F what a nigga think. I don't care what a man think. I'ma do me. Man, it's so easy to get a boyfriend. It's so easy to get a man. And, okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then the reality of it is they're lonely. They can't find a man. They can't get a guy to commit to them. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on like Erykah Badu with this shit. We can go on and on and on. And it's not so easy for them to have that commitment or get that commitment from the man that they want. And they so picky. A lot of these women are very, very picky in what they want in the man. And the man that they want just pump and dump them or don't pay them no attention. And because your reputation is your reputation. Most of these modern women don't value character, don't follow productivity, don't value responsibility, don't value your discipline. They run from that type of shit from a man. Because that man is really putting a mirror up to them and they see their inequalities and they see their flaws through that man. They see him, living a straight life, living a good life, living a disciplined life, and they can't do that. Because they can't blame him and play victim why it didn't turn out. You be like, well, why they just don't get on the right road and live a righteous life or follow his lead? And it's not fun. Sacrifice is not fun. Discipline is not fun. To them. Non-toxicity is not fun to them. They want the arguing. They want to smell another bitch on your dick. They want to fight. They want to argue. They want that toxicity. They want to be a victim because then they can't blame the man. The man leveling up and he doing this thing and you refuse to get on follow his leadership because they don't want to be better. Most women, 300-400 pounds, they talking about they don't care if men don't like the oversaturation of makeup. They don't care if men want a natural look, even though they say when I'm natural, I see guys approach regular Debbie girls without makeup on. They don't care if they say we don't like the BBL. All they care about is sex. If they see the ballers, fucking the BBL girls, even pumping and dumping them, treating them like 304s, they think that's the way they think that's being chose. Them girls being rented. They don't care what we think. Okay? They don't care what we think. They don't care about our opinion. When we tell them what we do, what we don't like online, guess what? Shut the fuck up. Who cares what you think? Who asked you? Or if you say, hey, I don't really like that, all the hood rats wear that, they come with insults. And from the old women to the young black women and do that. If you tell them the truth, your breath stink, or I don't like doing, I don't really like that wearing, I don't give a fuck what you think. You could be her husband, you could be her boyfriend, you could be her brother, you could be her son. So, like I said before, they can say they hate liars, but that mean they like liars. Because they like to lie to. They lie to their fat ass homegirl. They lie to their ugly ass homegirl. The only time they tell them the truth is when they get mad or they fall out with them. Fucking weirdos. So they don't really care. Gas is fucking ridiculous, brother. All right, grandma. You taking a granny fucking turn. Come on, turn. Jesus. You taking a granny turn. Man, all they pumps always out of service, bro. But yeah, buddy. God damn, do they got any pumps that's in service? Jeez Louise. All they pumps be broke at Speedway. Like, come on now. Yeah, Mazda, I'm going right there, buddy. Yeah, find another pump of your Mazda. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what it boiled down to, man. Hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Peace.